Hi friends, welcome to the 9th episode of App Guide. Here we will be solving some important problems on simple interest and compound interest. So let us go straight away to the next question. 26th question is, find out the capital to earn a monthly interest of rupees 60 at 6% simple interest. So in this question they are asking us to find out the principal when the interest is 60 and the rate of interest is 6% for a time period of 1 month. This type of question can be solved by two methods. The first method is by substituting all the given values in the formula. Interest is equal to PRT by 100. Then you will get the value for the principal. The second method is the method which I am going to explain here. This is also a very easy method. You will get the answer in a very short interval of time. I would suggest you to understand this method because it will be really helpful for you to solve some lengthy problems which are going to come next. So let us go towards the solution. In the first part, I said that rate of interest is equal to interest when the principal is 100 and time period is 1 year, or we can say that when the principal is 100 and time period is 1 year, whatever the interest value is, that will be equal to the rate of interest. So this is the first point which you need to keep in your mind. Now we know that interest is equal to PRT by 100. So this we can write it as PR by 100 is equal to interest by time period. So from this, for a particular value of rate of interest, principal will be directly proportional to the interest. And this principal will be inversely proportional to the time period. Okay? Principal is directly proportional to the interest and is inversely proportional to the time period. This is the second point which you need to keep in your mind. Okay? So the first point is rate of interest is equal to interest when principal is 100 and time period is 1 year. Next one is principal is directly proportional to the interest and is inversely proportional to the time period for a particular value of rate of interest. Now let us start doing the problem. First we are writing principal, time period, interest. When principal is 100, time period is 1 year, interest will be equal to what? When principal is 100, time period is 1 year, interest will be equal to rate of interest. Here what is the rate of interest? Rate of interest is 6. So this interest will be equal to 6. When principal is 100, time period is 1 year, interest will be equal to 6. In this question they are asking us to find out the principal, okay, when the interest is 60 and time period is 1 month. 1 month can be written as 1 by 12 year. If interest is 6, time period is 1 year, principal is 100. Now if interest is 60, time period is 1 by 12 year, what will be the value for the principal? Let us consider it as x. So we need to find out the value of this x. Now we need to see the relationship between principal and time period. What is the relationship between principal and time period? It is inversely proportional. Principal is inversely proportional to the time period. So whenever inverse proportionality comes, you need to do direct multiplication. This is the first thing you need to keep in mind. Whenever inverse proportionality comes, you need to do direct multiplication. Now what is the relationship between principal and interest? Relationship between principal and interest is directly proportional. Principal is directly proportional to interest. So whenever direct proportionality comes, you need to do cross multiplication. Whenever direct proportionality comes, you need to do cross multiplication. This is the third point which you need to keep in your mind. Okay? Whenever inverse proportionality comes, you need to do direct multiplication. Whenever direct proportionality comes, you need to do cross multiplication. Now how can we solve for this x? I will be multiplying this 100 to this one and then to this 60. 100 into this 1 into this 60. Then I will multiply this x to this 1 by 12 and then to this 6. X into this 1 by 12 into this 6, and I will equate them. On equating them, we will get the value for the x. X will be equal to this 100 into this 1 divided by this 1 by 12 into this 60 divided by this 6. So on solving this, you will get the value as rupees 12,000. Hence, we got the value for the principal x. From next question onwards, I will directly write this step by skipping this step. Let us see how can we write directly this step. This x will be equal to multiply this principal to this time period and then divide it with this time period. Then multiply it to this interest and divide it to this interest. That is 100 into 1 divided by 1 by 12 into 60 divided by 6. So I would suggest you to directly write this step by skipping this step so as to save your valuable time in the examination. Now let us do a similar problem so as to make the concept more clear. The next question is, the sum of money that will give rupees 1 as interest per day at the rate of 5% per annum simple interest is what? So in this question they are asking what is the principal when the interest is 1 rupees and the time period is 1 day and the rate of interest is given as 5%. Now we know that when the principal is 100, time period is 1 year, interest will be equal to rate of interest, that is 5. They are asking what is the principal when the interest is 1 rupees and the time period is 1 day. 1 day can be written as 1 by 365 year. So what will be the principal value? Principal value will be equal to this 100 into 1 by 5. That is, between principal and interest we need to do cross multiplication. So that will be equal to 100 into 1 by 5 into, between principal and time period we need to do direct multiplication. That is into this 1 by 365. 1 by 365. That will be equal to 100 into 1 by 5 into 365. So the answer will be equal to rupees 7,300. The next question is, Hari could buy 24 coins of gold with his 1 month salary in 2019. This year, the price of the gold has gone up by 20%. To buy 16 gold coins, how many months salary needed? So, in this question, they are telling that a person named Hari could buy 24 gold coins with his 1 month salary. Later, the price of the gold has increased by 20%. Then, in how many months salary he could buy 16 gold coins? So, let us represent the number of coins as this and the salary period as SP and the price of the gold as PG. Now, so initially he could buy 24 gold coins with his 1 month's salary. So, let us assume that the price of the gold was 100. Now, he needs to buy 16 gold coins. And the price of the gold has increased by 20%. So, what will be the value? 100 plus 20. That will be equal to 120. Then they are asking in how many months he could buy this 16 gold coins when the price has increased by 120. So, when the price was 100, he could buy 24 gold coins in 1 month. Now, when the price is 120, in how many months he could buy 16 gold coins. So for that, first we need to see the relationship between the number of gold coins and the salary period. So if the number of gold coins he needs to buy decreases, the period of his salary will also decrease. With the less periods salary, he could buy the gold. So the number of gold coins and the salary period are directly proportional to each other. So if they are directly proportional to each other, we need to do cross multiplication. Now let us see what is the relationship between the salary period and the price of the gold. If the price of the gold increases, then he requires more salary period to buy the gold, which means salary period increases when the price of the gold increases. Hence, they are also directly proportional to each other. Hence, we need to do cross multiplication. Now, what will be the salary period or the new salary period? New salary period will be equal to this 1 month into 16 by 24 into 120 by 100. This 1 month into 16 by 24 into 120 by 100. On solving this, you will get the answer as 4 by 5. So in 4 by 5th of the month, he could buy 16 gold coins when the price has increased by 20%. So this is the answer. The next question is, what is the simple interest on rupees 1500 for 2 years at a rate 1 paise per rupee per month? 1 paise per rupee per month means the interest is 1 paise when the principal is 1 rupees and the time period is 1 month. So interest is 1 paise means 1 by 100 rupees. 1 paise can be written as 1 by 100 rupees. The principal is 1 rupees and the time period is 1 month. Now, in the question they are asking us to find out the simple interest when the principal is 1500 and the time period is 2 years. So, for that we need to know the value of the rate of interest. So, I told rate of interest is the interest when the principal is 100 and the time period is 1 year. So, when the principal is 100 and the time period is 1 year, 1 year can be written as 12 months. Since this is in months, we are writing this also in months. So, rate of interest is the interest value when principal is 100 and the time period is 1 year. So, we need to find out this value. In order to find this value, let us see what is the relationship between interest and principal and also interest and time period. We know that interest is equal to PRT by 100, which means interest is directly proportional to principal and it is also directly proportional to the time period. Now, when direct proportionality comes, I told we need to do cross multiplication. So, interest and principal are directly proportional. So, we need to do cross multiplication in order to get this value. Now, interest and time period are also directly proportional. Hence, here also we need to do cross multiplication to get this value. So, how can we find this? Interest is equal to this 1 by 100 into 100 by 1, 1 by 100 into 100 by 1 into this 12 by 1, 12 by 1. So, that will be equal to 12. So, I told when principal is 100 and the time period is 1 year, interest is equal to rate of interest. Hence, this is equal to the rate of interest. So, R is equal to 12%. So, whenever 1 paise per rupee per month comes, directly it is better if you remember rate as 12%, so that you can save your valuable time in your examination. Then after that you can find out the simple interest. Simple interest is equal to P into R into T by 100, that is equal to principal is given as 1500 and the rate we found it as 12, or you better directly remember it, into time period is 2 years by 100. So that is equal to rupees 360. So on solving this, you will get the answer as rupees 360. The next question is, a sum of money was put at simple interest at the rate of 10 years. Had it been put at 5% high rate, it would have fetched 600 more. What was the sum? So in this question, we need to find out the principal when the interest is increased by 5% and for the time period of 10 years. They have also given the increase in the interest as 600. Now, how can we write the rate? I told rate is equal to the interest when the principal is 100 and the time period is 1 year. So, when the principal is 100 and the time period is 1 year, interest will be equal to the rate of interest, that is 5. This 5 is the increase in the rate. So, this is the increase in the interest. Now, if the increase in the interest is 5 for a time period of 1 year, principal is 100. Now, when the increase in the interest is 600 and for a time period of 10 years, what is the principal? That we need to find out. So, here also the same thing we need to apply. What is the relationship between principal and time? Principal and time are inversely proportional. So, direct multiply, that is 100 into 1 by 10 into, what is the relationship between principal and interest? They are directly proportional. Hence, cross multiply, that is this into 600 by 5. That is equal to rupees 1200. So, this is the principal when the increase in the interest is 600 and the time period is 10 years. The next question is, a sum was put at simple interest at a certain rate for 3 years. Had it been put at 2% higher rate, it would have fetched rupees 360 more. Find the sum. This is similar question. So, the rate is given as 2% higher. So, principal, time and interest, when the principal is 100, time period is 1 year, rate of interest will be equal to the interest. So, the increase in the interest is 2. Now, when the increase in the interest is 2, for a time period of 1 year, the principal is 100. So, when the increase in the interest is 360 and the time period is 3 years, what is the value of the principal? That is the question. So, this will be equal to this 100 into this principal and time period are inversely proportional. So, direct multiplication, that is 100 into 1 by 3 into principal and interest are directly proportional. So, cross multiplication, that is this into 360 by 2. 360 by 2. So, on solving this, you will get the answer as rupees 6000. So, this is the principal when the increase in the interest is 360 and the time period is 3 years. The next question is, the difference in simple interest on rupees 1000 for 2 years paid by 2 banks is rupees 50. The difference in rate of interest is. So, in this question, they have given the difference in interest given by 2 different banks as 50 for a principal of 1000 and a time period of 2 years. So, we need to find out the difference in the rate of interest. So, let us write difference in the interest is 50 when the principal is 1000 and the time period is 2 years. So, I told rate of interest is the interest when the principal is 100 and the time period is 1 year. We need to find out the rate of interest. So, let us see what is the interest when the principal is 100 and the time period is 1 year. That will give you the value of rate of interest. So, now the same procedure. What is the relation between interest and principal? Interest and principal are directly proportional. Also, interest is directly proportional to the time period. Hence, write answer will be equal to this 50 into on cross multiplying. Direct proportionality means cross multiplying. That is 50 into 100 by 1000, 100 by 1000 into 1 by 2, 1 by 2. So the answer will be equal to 2.5. So this is the interest. So interest is nothing but the rate when the principal is 100 and the time period is 1 year. So the rate percentage will be equal to 2.5%. The next question is, a man borrowed rupees 2800 at 4% per annum and rupees 3800 at 8% simple interest for the same period. If the difference in interest is rupees 576, find the time period. Now, in this question, a man borrowed a particular amount of money at 4% and another principal value at 8%. And we need to find out the time period. The time period is same in both the cases. They have also given us the difference between the interest in both the cases. So, whenever we need to find out the time period, the best method is to do by formula. So, what is the difference in the interest given? Difference in the interest given as 576. So, interest in the first case minus interest in the second case is equal to 576. Now, time period is same in both the case. Hence, T into P1 R1 by 100 minus P2 R2 by 100 is equal to 576. Now, substituting the value for principal and rate, you will get the value for time period. That is T into P1 R1 is 3808%, since that is higher than this value. So, 3800 into 8 by 100 minus 2800 into 4 by 100 is equal to 576. That is equal to T into 38 into 8 minus 28 into 4 is equal to 576. On solving this, you will get 192. So, T into 192 is equal to 576. Hence, the time period will be equal to 576 by 192. On dividing this, you will get the answer as 3 years. So, this is the answer. The next question is, in how many years will rupees 5000 amounts to rupees 6500 at 10% simple interest? So, in this question, they have given the principal value, the amount and also the rate of interest. We need to find out the number of years or the time period. So, amount is given as 6500 and the principal is given as 5000. So, if amount is this, principal is this, what will be the interest? Interest will be equal to amount minus principal, that is equal to 6500 minus 5000. So, that is equal to 1500. Now, we know that interest is equal to P into R into T by 100. So, 1500 is equal to principal is 5000 into R is 10 into T, that we need to find out, by 100. So, from this T is equal to 1500 by 50 into 10. So, that will be equal to 3 years. So, the answer is 3 years. The next question is, in how many years will a sum of rupees 800 at 10% per annum compounded semi-annually becomes rupees 926.1? So, in this question, they have given the principal, rate of interest and also the amount. We need to find out the time period. Now, this is compounded semi-annually. Okay, so it is like half yearly. So, in half yearly, I told rate becomes half and time period becomes double. So, here the rate is given as 10%. So, since it is semi-annually, it will be half. So, rate will be equal to 10 by 2, that is equal to 5%. And the time period, if time period is n, it will become 2n. So, time period is to be doubled. So, here the time period is 2n. Now this is compound interest. Hence amount is equal to P into 1 plus R by 100 whole raised to n. Or we can write it as amount by principal is equal to 1 plus R by 100 whole raised to n. Now substitute the values. What is amount? Amount is 926.1. We can write it as 9261 by the principal is given as 800. So we can write it as 8000 by multiplying 10 both on numerator and denominator. We get A by P as 9261 by 8000. So this is equal to 1 plus R is given as 10, but in semi-annual it is 5. So 5 by 100 whole raised to, what will be the time period? Time period is now 2n. Now on solving this, you will get 9261 by 8000 is equal to 21 by 20 whole raised to 2n. On solving this, you will get 21 by 20. Now on having a close look at it, this 8000 is 20 cube and this 9261 is the cube of 21. So we can write this as 21 by 20 cube is equal to 21 by 20 whole raised to 2n. Now since the base is same, we can equate the powers, that is 2n is equal to 3. So from here n will be equal to 3 by 2, that is equal to 1 by 2 years. So the answer is 1 by 2 years. The next question is, sum of money out of rupees 1600 was lent at 4% and rest at 9% per annum at simple interest. If the total interest on whole amount for 3 years is 336, what is the ratio of money lent at 4% and 9%? So in this question they are telling that a particular amount is lent at 4% and the remaining part of it is lent at 9%. And the total interest on the whole amount is given as 336 for a time period of 3 years. We need to find out the ratio of money at 4% and 9%. So this we are doing by alligation method. Alligation is a different topic that I will explain in the coming videos. So let us see how can we solve this question by alligation method. So in alligation method, the total principal should be considered as the principal for 4% as well as for 9%. So first we need to write the interest value for 4%. What will be the interest? Interest is equal to P into R into T by 100. So principal is 1600 into R is 4 and it is for a time period of 3 years by 100. This is the interest. Now here you write this. Here you write the interest for 9%. Interest for 9% will be principal into R into T by 100. Here also the principal you need to consider it as the total principal, that is 1600 into rate is 9 into time period is 3 by 100. On solving this you will get it as 192 and on solving this you will get the answer as 432. Now in the middle you need to write the total interest. The total interest is given as 336. Now you need to subtract diagonally. Subtracting this two, you will get the answer as 144. That you need to write here. On subtracting this two, you will get 144, that you need to write here. Now subtracting this two, you will get the value as 96, that you need to write diagonally. Now this will be the ratio of money lent at 4% and 9%. That is 96 is to 144 is the ratio of money lent at 4% and 9%. So on simplification, you will get the answer as 2:3. So this is how you can find easily the ratio of money lent at 4% and 9%. 37th question is, Sunil invested money in two schemes A and B offering compound interest at 8% per annum and 9% per annum. If total interest in 2 years is rupees 4,818.3 and the total amount invested was 27,000, what was the amount invested in scheme A? So they are telling that a particular principal value is invested in two schemes A and B, one at 8% and the another at 9%. And they have also given the total interest for 2 years also. So we need to find out the principal amount invested in scheme A. So this is also similar question to that of the previous one. Previous question was for simple interest and this is for compound interest. So we are doing this by allegation method. So in allegation method, first you need to write down the compound interest in the first case and then here the compound interest in the second case. In both these cases, the principal value should be taken as the total principal. Okay, total principal. And in the middle, you need to write down the total interest, that is 4,818.3. Then you need to take the differences diagonally and these values will be the ratio of the principal of A and principal of B. So once we get the ratio of principal A and principal B, we can easily find out the value of the principal invested in scheme A. Okay, now let us first find out the compound interest in the first case, that is with 8% and then compound interest with 9%. So this we are doing by Pascal's triangle method. So here the time period is 2 years. So how can we do Pascal's triangle method? Write 1, 2, 1. Below this one we need to write down the principal. So what we need to take as the principal? Here the total principal is 27,000. So we need to take 27,000 as the principal. Okay. Now, but in this question, I am considering the principal as 100 for easy calculation. Okay. So you can also take 27,000 here, then 27,000 into 8 by 100, then here 27,000 into 8 by 100 into 8 by 100 and then find out the compound interest. But for easy calculation, I am taking principal as 100 and then I will convert it for principal 27,000. Okay. So let us see how can we do this. So below this one I am writing this 100, then here 100 into 8 by 100. In the first case rate is 8 by 100, that is equal to 8. Then this 8 into 8 by 100, that is equal to 0.64. Now let us find out this for the rate 9%. So then also it is 100. Then below this 2 we need to write 100 into 9 by 100, that is equal to 9. Then here 9 into 9 by 100, that will be equal to 0.81. Okay. Now what will be the compound interest in the first case? I told this full part is for compound interest. So compound interest when rate is 8 is equal to this 2 into 8 plus 1 into 0.64, that is 16 plus 0.64, that is equal to 16.64. Now what is the compound interest when the rate is 9? When the rate is 9, compound interest is equal to 2 into 9 plus 1 into 0.81, that is 18 plus 0.81, that is equal to 18.81. Now these are the compound interest when the principal is 100, but we need to find out the compound interest when the principal is 27,000. Okay, so this 100 is given in the question as 27,000. Then how can we write this 16.64? So by cross multiplying, we will get the value for the compound interest when the rate is 8. That is equal to 27,000 into 16.64 divided by this 100. Okay, that will be equal to 4492.8. You will get 4,492.8. Similarly, you need to find out the compound interest when the rate is 9. So when the rate is 9, compound interest will be equal to 27,000 into 18.81. 18.81 by 100. 27,000 into 18.81 by 100. That will, if you solve, you will get the answer as 5078.7. Now we got the compound interest in the both the cases. So once you get the compound interest, you can do alligation method. Okay. Now let us find the ratio of the principals by alligation method. So here you need to write the compound interest in the first case, that is 4492.8. And what is the compound interest in the next case? That is 5078.7. And what is the total compound interest given? That is 4818.3. Now in all the cases, the decimal points are at same place, that is they are after the ones place. So we can neglect the decimal points. Okay, on neglecting the decimal points, we can write it as 50787, this as 44928. Okay, now let us subtract diagonally. So on subtracting this two, you will get 2604. On subtracting this both, you will get 3255. Now these are the ratios of the principal at scheme A and scheme B. Okay. If PA is this, PB is this, what will be the total principal or the total principal ratio? That will be equal to 2604 plus 3255. That will be equal to 5859. So this total principal is represented in the question as 27,000. Then what will be the value for this? We need to find out the principal for scheme A. Okay, this can be found out by cross multiplication. Okay, that will be equal to, principal at scheme A will be equal to 27,000 into 2604 divided by 5859. That is equal to rupees 12,000. So on solving this, you will get the answer as rupees 12,000. So this is the last question of this part. I'll be back with more varieties of problems on simple interest and compound interest. So if you feel this video helpful, like it, share it and subscribe it. Also press the bell button so that you get the notification when I am uploading my new videos. Bye.